History's deadliest snipers may not be known by name, but their actions are the stuff of legend. We'll explore 5 of the most dangerous soldiers to ever walk onto the battlefield, where they came from, what they did, and the impact that they've each made on the art of the long shot. Few types of soldier have captured the imagination of popular culture quite like the sniper. Everything from Hollywood blockbusters to some of the most iconic moments in video game history has focused on these legendary sharpshooters. But as feared as snipers are on the battlefield, they're largely unsung in the history books. Not surprising when you think about it. After all, their entire role is to be unseen, unheard, and unknown. Today, we'll be looking at some of history's deadliest snipers and what made them so effective. Before we begin, if you're interested in early access to videos and live chats with the creator of Intrigued Mind, consider subscribing to our Patreon. Your support will greatly help us keep the channel producing more intriguing content. Ludmila Pavlichenko, Lady Death of the Red Army. Ludmila Pavlichenko was born the daughter of a locksmith in modern-day Ukraine. At the age of 14, she joined a shooting club and quickly earned her sharpshooter badge and a marksmanship certificate. At the outset of World War II, Ludmila declined the offer to become a nurse for the Red Army, instead becoming one of 2,000 female Soviet snipers. She quickly became a fearsome presence on the battlefield, distinguishing herself in the sieges of Odessa and Sevastopol. Known by her friends and foes alike as Lady Death, Pavlichenko is confirmed to have killed 309 invading soldiers. She was always ready for a fight, and in the dense urban terrain of the sieges, she had to be creative to mask her shots, camouflage herself, and remain alive despite routinely being outnumbered and outgunned. In 1942, Pavlichenko was badly injured during a mortar attack. However, she recovered and went back to training more snipers for the war effort. After the war, she continued her education and became a historian. Pavlichenko died of a stroke at the age of 58 in 1974. Her legacy as one of the deadliest snipers in modern history and the most successful female sniper of all time lives on. Vasily Zaitsev, the Soviet sniper who inspired a Hollywood blockbuster. If you ever saw the movie Enemy at the Gates, then the name Vasily Zaitsev should ring a bell. The movie tells a fictionalized account of his life, played by Jude Law, but the real story is much more interesting. Born in 1915, he was a master of the art of sniping who learned the ways of the rifle from his grandfather, hunting wolves in the Ural Mountains. After graduating from college, Zaitsev enlisted in the Soviet military and served with the Pacific Fleet. But it wasn't until the outbreak of World War II and the launch of Operation Barbarossa that Zaitsev's true talents were put to the test. He volunteered to join the front lines, where he was assigned to the 1047th Rifle Regiment, where he was credited with 32 kills using a standard-issue rifle. In 1942, in the lead-up to the Battle of Stalingrad, Zaitsev's career as a sniper officially began. As a master of stealth and concealment, he had an ingenious ability to cover large areas from just a handful of strategic locations. His tactics were so effective that he became known for his hide-and-sting technique, which involved taking out a few targets with well-aimed shots before quickly moving to a new location. Zaitsev's skills proved invaluable in the Battle of Stalingrad, where he scored more than 200 enemy kills. He hid among the rubble, in water pipes, and anywhere else that might conceal his presence from the enemy, much like he did while hunting wolves as a boy. His tactics were so successful that they were adopted by Soviet snipers at large, making them some of the most feared combatants of the war. Zaitsev's biggest contribution came in the realm of sniper tactics. His innovative techniques revolutionized the art of sniping, making him one of the deadliest snipers in modern history. Despite taking a mortar blast to the face, Zaitsev survived and went on to serve until the end of the war, finishing his career at the Battle of the Seelow Heights in Germany at the rank of captain. Simo Haya, the White Death who killed 500 Soviets. In 1939, the USSR attempted to invade Finland, triggering what would become known as the Winter War. It was during this conflict that Simo Haya made history. A Finnish sniper born to a farming family, he joined the Finnish voluntary militia at the age of 21 and quickly made a name for himself as a crack shot. Haya competed in numerous shooting competitions and racked up win after win. When war broke out between Finland and the Soviet Union, he volunteered his skills, first developed as a boy from hunting trips with his father. Haya became a master of tracking, navigating, and camouflaging himself in his environment with ease. He earned his nickname, the White Death, due to the white camouflage he wore as he snuck through the snow, taking shots at the Russian soldiers as he went. He was known to pack himself in heavy snow to provide cover and balance his rifle, all while placing small bits of snow on his tongue to prevent his breath from giving away his position to the enemy. Haya used a Seiko M2830 with iron sights. This bolt-action rifle had no scope, meaning that Haya would have to be alarmingly close to his targets. In temperatures reaching -40 degrees, he dropped one Red Army soldier after another, racking up all 505 of his kills in less than 100 days of combat. On March 6, 1940, Hyatt took an armor-piercing bullet fired directly to the face. Despite the injury, he recovered and would go on to live until the age of 96. It seems that snipers are very hard to kill. After the war, he was promoted to second lieutenant and retired from the military, becoming a moose hunter and dog breeder. Hyatt was awarded the Cross of Liberty, along with the Medal of Liberty and the Cross of Kola Battle. To this day, he remains the deadliest sniper in world history. Chuck Mawhinney, have gun, will travel. Chuck Mawhinney is a true legend in the United States Marine Corps for his work during the Vietnam War. Mawhinney's shooting skills were unparalleled, and his record of 103 confirmed kills and 216 probable kills is unmatched by any Marine before or since. Mawhinney was a veteran son who joined the Marines in 1967. After completing Scout Sniper School at Camp Pendleton, he was deployed to South Vietnam, where he was eventually transferred to the HQ Scout Sniper Platoon and worked with multiple military units and police forces. Mawhinney was a gun for hire of sorts, drifting from town to town and unit to unit. He was the best at what he did, and he was routinely called upon for difficult missions. During one such mission, he was captured by an enemy platoon. Mawhinney was able to get one of his captor's guns and killed 16 of his guards with headshots before finally escaping. After being declared combat fatigued by a chaplain, Mawhinney was transferred to the United States and served as a marksmanship instructor at Camp Pendleton. He later left the Marine Corps in 1970 and worked with the U.S. Forest Service until retirement. Despite his legendary accomplishments, Mawhinney was modest and never sought glory for his work. He kept his time as a sniper quiet and didn't even discuss it with his wife. It wasn't until fellow sniper Joseph Ward recounted his exploits in his book Dear Mom, A Sniper's Vietnam that his actions became public knowledge. In 1991, Mawhinney was officially recognized by the Marine Corps as having the most recorded kills ever in Marine history. Today, his rifle can be seen at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. Carlos Hathcock, the White Feather who terrorized the Viet Cong. Carlos Hathcock was a United States Marine Corps sniper during the Vietnam War and is credited with 93 confirmed kills. Growing up in Little Rock, Arkansas, he, like many snipers, developed his skills by hunting from an early age. Growing up poor in the American South, this was a necessary skill to put food on the table. Hathcock's lifelong passion for shooting led him to enlist in the Marines at the age of 17, hoping to serve his country. After being deployed to Vietnam, Hathcock was eventually transferred to Captain Edward Land Sniper Platoon, where his natural shooting ability quickly impressed his new commander. Hathcock quickly made a name for himself. During his relatively short service, he amassed an impressive 93 kills. While that might sound low compared to others on this list, the difficulty of confirming kills at the time makes it hard to estimate Hathcock's head count, though modern estimates put it between 300 and 400. Hathcock's legendary exploits earned him the nickname Long Trang, which means white feather sniper in Vietnamese, due to the white feather he always wore in his hat. The North Vietnamese army was so afraid of him that they put a bounty of $30,000 on his head. That's about $250,000 today. In spite of the danger, Hathcock took on a variety of legendary missions, including a CIA-led operation to take out a Viet Cong general in which he crawled 1,500 yards over 4 days and 3 nights with no sleep or food to take his shot. Several counter-snipers were sent after Hathcock during the war, including a female Viet Cong leader known as the Apache and an elite enemy sniper known as the Cobra. In his duel with the Cobra, Hathcock made a near-impossible shot, sending his bullet directly through his enemy's scope, killing him before he could react. Sadly, Hathcock had to be evacuated from Vietnam after an anti-tank mine struck his vehicle, nearly killing him. As we've seen though, snipers are some of the toughest of the tough, and Hathcock was able to recover. His love for sharpshooting never waned, and he went on to establish the Marine Corps Scout Sniper School in Virginia, where he trained future snipers, special forces, and police units. Hathcock's impact on modern sniping is immeasurable, and his legacy lives on. As we've seen, snipers are some of the most devastating and tenacious soldiers on any battlefield. What other impressive war stories do you know? Sound off in the comments. For more videos on the most amazing forgotten parts of our history, be sure to subscribe to the Intrigued Mind channel. Like the video and leave your suggestions in the comments below.